He should have been brought down twice on this play. Just going to sit down there. You can see Joe Fleming in the bottom of the screen. He's got the first shot of it. Then he gets away from the second guy, Kevin Johnson. Then it becomes a foot race. And this 16-year vet can still get it done when he gets in the open field.
Always cool on the sideline, Steve Barato, but we saw what happened last week. The Lions' lead shrank very quickly in the second half, and right now the Lions aren't moving the ball.
But that is such a big play because instead of punting from your goal line, you're punting from your 25-yard line. That is an immensely big play by Damon Allen.
See if they go after Pasaglia again. Well covered, but a poor punt. And it kicks out. Shanked by Pasaglia. And not just Dave Dickinson out, that's Jeff Pilon in for Heisman at left tackle. Kelvin Anderson sprinting to the right side, gets to the 46-yard line. And as much as they want to depend on Anderson, doesn't this offense get awfully predictable if they keep giving it to 32?
Well, I think you still got to do it. I mean, obviously you can't abandon him. Yes, he put the ball on the ground the play previous, but you got to also let him know that we still got confidence in you, Calvin. We know you can still do it. But yes, once the time starts becoming your enemy, you're going to have to start throwing the football.
2nd and 6. Passing situation here, halfway through the third quarter. Ollie nailed, and the pass incomplete. Looking for Moore, and he was decked.
Well, what does experience bring you? Dickinson recognized this. When you're going to bring this many guys, Lockbaum, Kidd, and Fletcher, I mean, it's an all-out blitz. As a result, you have to offset or change your routes. Your receivers have to be on the same page as the quarterback, and you can't sit there that long. Look at them. They're all coming right there. There's not enough guys to pick them up. You can't sit back there. When that happens, you got to get rid of the football, make your read that much quicker.
Tony Martino comes back in. It's been a defensive saw in this third quarter. Remains a 13-point Lion lead.
But the most important thing, Chris, is every time your offense doesn't move the football, you put it back in the hands of the BC Lions, who in effect take more time off the clock.
Cunningham from inside his 20, breaks one, and spins his way close to the 30-yard line, and flags are flying. You see a face mask there, Cunningham did. 44 yards on the punt, an 8-yard return, and they'll sort out the flag. We'll be back to McMahon Stadium after this. Our lane called for face masking Jimmy the Jet Cunningham. When the ball moved to the 44-yard line, our lane is number 82.
Well, you can see it right there also. There it is. He just got the hand right on there as he takes him down to the ground. The referee throws the flag, and you can't take those kind of penalties at this stage in the game.
Now Damon Allen thinks about running. A little shovel toss, and Cunningham hit hard but hangs on to the football.
Damon Allen.
When you're confident as an offensive unit, you make plays like this work. I mean, when you look up here and you see him toss that shovel pass up in the air in a crowd of Calgary defenders, Jimmy the Jet Cunningham not only gets crunched, but hangs onto the football. That's when you know things are going your way today.
Damon Allen that time seemed to be straddling the line of scrimmage. No call. Cunningham had a touchdown in the first half. He had a touchdown in the Western semifinal. At midfield, first down BC. Damon Allen looking for Oliver, and a great pass. Greg Frere's punishing Oliver, but the damage is done.
Well, now they're also going to tack on a late hit on Greg Frere's. You cannot take penalties that are going to hurt your team. And I call those selfish penalties. I know you're frustrated. He's out of bounds. Don't tack on anything else because you may stop him here.
Unnecessary roughness. Calgary number 12. First down.
It's just sign of frustration, and I understand you're frustrated, but you're still in this game. You still got a quarter left. You're only down by 13. Don't fold your tent.
Face mask penalty started it. And now that. And it end result is a 41-yard gain. Wally Buono's seen this movie before.
Well, absolutely. I mean, now you've put him inside the 15-yard line, giving Damon Allen an opportunity to go to the end zone. I mean, it's just inexcusable.
Allen with time, end zone. Jackson overthrows his favorite target. Jack Kellogg in coverage. And there is a flag down as well in the secondary as Jackson points to the scoreboard.
Well, they're going to call pass interference on the Calgary defense.
Major foul, face mask, Calgary number 29, first down.
Eddie Davis, I mean, this is just something. I mean, this is, you know, we saw Greg Frères take the unnecessary, you know, hit and the penalty there, the roughness call, and now face masking, and obviously we had another one on the punt. I mean, it's just, you just can't be doing this right now. It's almost a sign of retreat, of throwing out the white flag.
And I'm going back to your keys now. Killer instinct.
Absolutely. I mean, they're helped when you take penalties like that.
Allen, shovel pass, touchdown, Sean Millington. And the Lions get that much closer to staying another week.
Well, that's what happens. You put yourself in a situation close to the goal line, albeit aided by penalties. They've been running this play successfully. We saw just on the same drive, Jimmy the Jet Cunningham coming up with a great catch on the shovel pass. And, I mean, he pitches this to Millington, and there's nobody that even touches him until he gets into the end zone.
Well, a penalty-aided drive, but an impressive march nonetheless. Talks about how 93 was gut-wrenching even now, and 7 years later.
You know, we talk about 93, we talk about 94. They were in the, you know, in the final, and they lost to BC. I don't care what year you're in it. I don't care where you're playing it. When you're in the final and you're only one game away from going to the cherished land, it doesn't matter. It kills you, it hurts you. And now you lose your leader, Dave Dickinson. Now, we haven't talked about, I mean, how much does that affect you emotionally? You know you're going in with your backup who's only played 2 games for you. You also know when they had Troy Kopp running the controls, back when Dickinson was out mid-season with a knee injury, how this offense all but fell apart.
Calgary lost only 1 home game this year, and that was when Dickinson was injured, Labor Day game.
Well, I think there's another one. I mean, they're undefeated, as you said, in the pregame, 9-0 in these uniforms. So, I mean, that's another thing that's in serious jeopardy with the 20-point lead.
What a contrast on the sidelines right now. 31-11 for the BC Lions.
It's called confidence on one side, self-doubt on the other. You're starting to question yourselves. Now's the time where you test your mettle. You pull together as a unit, say, you know what, we got 14 minutes left. If we have any chance of getting there, we've got to do it now. We can't wait any longer.
Again, Anderson out of a formation that has given Calgary some trouble on kickoffs. Marvin Coleman will try again, and flags fly as he gets across the 30-yard line.
Well, Carl Kidd caused that penalty. He just beat his blocker, Darryl Hall, down the field. Hall had to clip him in the back. As a result now, whatever return Coleman gets is negated. And now the Calgary offense starts deeper.
Calgary number 4, first down.
And these are all-star guys. Eddie Davis, Greg Frères, Darryl Hall, perhaps not an all-star this year, but a perennial all-star. And they're making the mistakes.
Well, absolutely. And no penalty is a good penalty. But they're even magnified more at critical times. And this is, I mean, when the game's on the line, these are all terrible times to get it.
There's Dave Dickinson, done for the day. And his team looks like it may be done for the season unless Mike Colley can rally a remarkable comeback. Throwing downfield to Boerichter, and he can't bring it in. Central McClellan in a duel with the rookie Boerichter.
And Chris, you talked about this earlier. You talked about Calgary coming in this game thinking they were going to get a lot of zone coverage. BC said, yeah, we're going to mix them up a little bit. We're going to do a lot of man because we feel that these guys have got enough athletic ability to go one-on-one with their receivers. I mean, there's obviously, it all starts with the pressure up front. They get called to the outside. He throws off his back foot. But the coverage at the end is there. You can see. Well, Boerichter's got to come up with that catch. I'm sorry.
He has tweaked the ankle again, is getting attention. at the bench. 2nd and 10. 4 minutes left. Drop ball, and Colley has to pick it up and scramble. He dropped it again and got, fortunately, a quick whistle.
Oh, that's a very quick whistle, because it all started with a bad exchange between the center and the quarterback, Colley. He fumbles the ball, picks it up, and then tries to scramble for whatever he can, and fumbles the ball again. And as you say, Chris, very, very fortunate, because that ball realistically could belong to the BC Lions. You see, it was out of his hands before he hit the ground. That was a very gracious call for the Calgary Stampeders.
Colley unable to produce a first down for Calgary in this 3rd quarter. And a fumble by Anderson, compounding the problems. Jimmy Cunningham slipped, but gets it across midfield.
Jimmy Cunningham on the return, brings
3:26
it
to
back
play in the
7
3rd
yards.
quarter of the Western Final.
37 on the kick for Martino.
Looking for a winter tire like the Michelin Arctic Alpine? Come to Canadian Tire. We'll get you wherever you want to go.
BC Lions at 2-5 in their history against Calgary in playoff competition, but their 2 wins came in 1964 and 1994. And in those 2 years, the Lions roared to the Grey Cup.
You know, Chris, I also thought it was an interesting stat we looked at yesterday, that a first-place Western team has never gone to the Grey Cup. So the curse continues, maybe, in 13 more minutes.
Certainly looks like it. Look at Allen weave out of traffic. Damon Allen, another display, and he doesn't like the term, Chris, that he's in a zone. But Damon Allen looks like he's back in that 1987-93 zone.
He is the most charitable man you ever talked to. He doesn't like to talk about himself, doesn't like to talk about his accolades, what he does on the field. But look what he does. I mean, the offensive line, they give him the protection early. He does the rest on his own. Great athletic ability, finding the zone, as you say, breaking it. And you know what? Every time he gets a first down, he puts another nail in the coffin of the Calgary Stampeders.
You can see the expression written on the faces of the Calgary defenders. That was Jeff Traversy. 1st and 10. Allen looking deep. Incomplete, as he nearly sprung Robert Drummond. Matched up against Darrell Hall.
Killer instinct, baby. That's what it's about. And I tell you what, they're not content with the 20-point lead. He's going downtown. And as you say, this ball is on the money. It's a nice throw. He's got one-on-one coverage with Darrell Hall. Robert Drummond just can't come up with the catch. He knows it. It was a great throw by Damon Allen. It is right there.
So Allen on the money. And he has been more than a handful. He's been a headache for Mike Roach today, the Stampeder defensive coordinator. 2nd and 10, and Allen running the ball like a guy half his age, 37 years of age. He has run for more yards than any other quarterback in CFL history, and he just moved the chains again.
Oh, you know what? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. The man never gets the respect he's due. This is a great player that we're watching right now. 16-year veteran, only 41 yards rushing against Calgary in 2 games. Didn't even rush the ball once the last time they played. Here he comes now. He knows when the game is here. They're in that area. He's just starting to do whatever he has to do. I'll throw it. I get a little seam. That was a planned call. That was a quarterback draw. Boom. Bust it up. Keep the drive alive.
I guess when you're 37, you've got to pick your spots. There's another shovel toss, and Millington lowers the boom. He did step out, but even there, you can see the Stamps are not finishing their tackles.
Because right now, the lifeblood of the Calgary Stampeders is slowly being sucked out of their bodies right now. Things are just falling apart right now. They want to believe. They still want to be in there. They're still looking to each other saying we can still do it. But with every tick of the clock and every time Damon Allen takes off with that football or pitches it to Drummond or hands it to Millington, you can just see they start to seep a little far, like leaves falling off a tree.
Another first down. They've got it down to the 16-yard line. Pump fake. Oliver pumped as he tried to get deep. Ball falls incomplete as Pryor was in a pushing match with the intended receiver.
But I'll tell you what, he is not playing conservative. A lot of people used to attack that man and say, you know, he's content with just going sideline to sideline. He is really attacking this Calgary defense, stretching it at will, going deep repeatedly.
2nd and 10 Lions at the Calgary 16.
2nd and 10. Great protection all day for Allen. Now he sidearms it, incomplete. Eddie Davis in coverage. That pass intended for Denny Montana.
Well, he has spread it around to all the receivers, and hey, why not go to Denny Montana? Get him involved, get him a stat, get him a catch for the records, because right now everybody on that BC sidelines is having fun. Everything's working.
There's that sidearm throw again, and although Montana doesn't fit into this, Damon Allen has 6 receivers with over 500 yards this year. That's more than any other team in the league, so it is a very diversified attack.
Absolutely, and that means you just can't key on one receiver. You can't worry about one guy because they got 5 other guys that can kill you.
How about the script that's being written for this man? In his 25th year, he puts another through. We thought Louis was done when he kicked the winner in '94 in the Grey Cup game. 6 years later, he may get a chance again.
You know what? You wonder about this. It's almost like a charmed life. You couldn't write a script any better. This is a screenplay. It only happens in the movies. Not a chance. It's happening here. I mean, Passaglia is retiring after nearly 25 years. Who would have thought? I mean, what a great career. And to be able, you know, with the amount of time left on the clock and a 23-point lead, to go to the Cup, as we see him right there in the flashback. What an amazing story.
And you know, in '94, it was BC against Baltimore, the distant cousins of the Montreal Alouettes of today. And it looks like that's what it's going to be again. Mike Colley in all kinds of trouble. And Carl Kidd brings him down at the 30. And it continues to unravel here in the late stages of the 3rd quarter for the home side.
Well, there's a flag deep in the defensive secondary of the BC Lions. And a man around the flag, a man we haven't called much today, Vince Danielson.
Major foul, face mask, BC number 34, 1st down.
Well, that's McClellan's 2nd penalty and the 2nd one for face masking today. I mean, they're taking a little bit of chances out there right now, and that's one of the reasons that the receivers are so well covered, Chris. It always helps when you got a hand in somebody's face mask. And you can see right there, working against Vince Danielson, a man we have not talked about at all today.
Gives them a 1st down at the 50. Flag flies, play is stopped. Somebody jumped early, and we'll have one more play in the 3rd quarter. This is going against Calgary. You know, bringing up Danielson.
Procedure, Calgary number 64, still 1st down.
That's the newcomer Pilon. In there for Heisman at left tackle. But prior to the game, the Stamps coaches were saying, we think today the slots will have a big game against the BC defense. It is a team that has a history of great production out of the slots, but this year it's been more the wideouts. But today, Pitts and Danielson have been silenced. 1st and 15, Colley throws, batted down in front of Travis Moore by Central McClellan.
Mike Colley passes incomplete.
Well, at the end of the quarter, the fans are screaming for a pass interference penalty by McClellan again, making the right play at the right time.
Ready for the 4th quarter at McMahon Stadium. And those faces tell you what the score is.
A lot of thinking going on right now, but you know what? We've talked about this before, Chris. We don't want to close the lid on the Calgary Stampeders just yet. There is 1 quarter left to go. There's 15 minutes. They're down 23, but stranger things have happened in this league.
Noah Cantor's back. One of the key plays of the game came on a Calgary touchdown, ironically, but it knocked Dave Dickinson out of the box for the rest of the game. 2nd and 15 for Calgary. At their 45-yard line, across the middle, there's Vince Danielson. Danielson down to the 30. He could score. Finally brought down at the 11.
Nice read. Way to get your man, the slot backs. You just mentioned that earlier, Chris, that we thought they'd have a big day. Nice job of getting the ball to Vince Danielson and Alan Pitts, his partner, down the field. Throwing a block, trying to spring him even farther. Well, he just comes across the middle there. Nice catch, finds some open field. Trying to get around some blocking and takes it down to the 11-yard line.
Bo Lewis saves a touchdown, 44 yards for 88, whose birthday just happens to be on Grey Cup Sunday. Colley, Aubrey Cummings down to the 3, and again they can't make a first down without scoring. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Well, they're going to bring the big boys in right now. The short yardage team, Fleming, Mark Pilon, Dwayne Ford back in the ball game, Scott Regenbold, the big boys.
Well, this would provide a jolt of adrenaline and maybe a new dose of conviction.
A much-needed injection of confidence.
Somebody late getting into the fray for BC. Mano a mano, Anderson. I don't think he got there. As he was stacked up, Marvin Thomas at the bottom of that pile defensively.
Marvin Thomas and Noah Cantor just go underneath and keep their legs. They get lower than the offensive linemen. Here's the three-quarter stats. I mean, 313 net yards to 149. 26 minutes to 19. Anytime you have the ball, that means the other team's offense doesn't have it. And obviously the big one right there, 5 turnovers. That'll come back and haunt you.
3rd and 1. As they reload in the trenches. Well, in a lot of ways, this could be the ball game right here. Colley, touchdown.
Changed it up a little bit, Chris. They took the double tight ends out. That makes BC's defense have to respect the opportunity to throw the football. Takes one of the linebackers out of the box. As a result, he just ducks his head behind the big boys, Crysdale, Childress, and McNeil, and just gets right in there. And you can see right there, if your line is getting to the back, if your line is getting into the feet of your linebackers, in that case, Kelly Lockbaum, 9 out of 10 times your quarterback should cross the goal line, and he does in that case.
75 yards in 7 plays. The big one, the 44-yarder to Vince Danielson. And the first place finishers in the West still have a little bit of life. 34-18 with 12 and a half minutes to play in the 4th quarter at McMahon.